Everybody, and welcome to my video presentation about the issues of sea level rise. I will be covering the issue specifically in the town of Marshfield, Massachusetts. The reason I am doing this is because I am from Marshfield and thought it would be beneficial to research a very important topic that could potentially affect the place that I live. I also chose this topic because it relates to what I discussed in my major, which is emergency management. Sea level rise is a critical issue stemming from climate change with far-reaching impacts on ecosystems, human populations, and economies globally. It could lead to things like coastal erosion and habitat loss, increased flooding, saltwater intrusion, threats to human settlements, economic impacts, and much more. In this presentation, I will be covering all of these different effects that sea level rise has and how it could leave the town of Marshall in high risk. Why is sea level rise important? Addressing sea level rise is crucial for mitigating its impacts. This involves both adaptation strategies like improving coastal defenses and planning for managed retreats in vulnerable areas, and mitigation efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and slow global warming. The international community's response to sea level rise is not just about protecting the environment, but also about ensuring economic stability, social justice, and the well-being of millions of people worldwide. What are the effects in Marshfield? Marshfield is particularly vulnerable to the effects of sea level rise due to its location right on the water in the Atlantic Ocean. The town, like many others, like many other coastal communities, faces several significant challenges as a result of increased sea level rise. Some of these include flooding, coastal erosion, property damage, impacts on natural habitats, saltwater intrusion, and community and economic impacts, upon many more. How to avoid bad outcomes in Marshfield. Marshfield and similar coastal communities are exploring and implementing various strategies. These include reinforcing seawalls and dunes, updating zoning and building codes to account for future sea level rise, investing in natural solutions like marsh restoration to buffer against storms and flooding, and participating in regional planning efforts to address climate change and sea level rise collectively. Adaptation and resilience building are key to mitigating the most severe impacts of sea level rise on Marshfield and protecting the town's future. Is there a way to put sea level rise to a stop? While completely stopping sea level rise may not be feasible in the immediate future, through concentrated global efforts to reduce emissions, enhance adaptation measures, and support international cooperation, it is possible to significantly slow the rate of rise and reduce its impact on vulnerable communities and ecosystems. The actions taken in the next few decades will be critical in determining the extent of sea level rise and its long-term global impacts. In conclusion, efforts in Marshall to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, such as promoting renewable energy use, enhancing energy efficiency, and supporting sustainable transportation and land use practices, contribute to global mitigation efforts. Simultaneously, local adaptation measures, including strengthening coastal defenses, adopting resilient building codes, planning for managed retreat in the most vulnerable areas, and restoring natural barrier like marshes and dunes, are vital to reducing the immediate and future impacts of sea level rise on the community. While stopping sea level rise may be beyond the immediate reach of Marshfield or any single community, concentrated local action can significantly contribute to broader efforts to slow climate change and better prepare for its impacts. Marshall's response to sea level rise can serve as a model for similar coastal towns, highlighting the importance of proactive planning, community resilience, and the role of local action in addressing global challenges. These are the websites that I used in my citations. And thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you learned something.